everyone, Kim here, Abundant Life Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me. We are doing a new series. It'll be ongoing as I feel inspired to add to it. This is called Scratch That Itch. And you're like, what in the world is that about? Well, I'll tell you. Every now and then, I will add a deck to my wish list because I was perusing Etsy one late night, or I was checking out Kickstarter, or I watched a random deck flip through and I'm like, oh, that deck would be so cool. And then my mind starts to wonder, do I already have something that's in my collection that could scratch that itch for me to get this new deck? And oftentimes there are decks I already have in my collection that will scratch that itch. There are still times where I ultimately decide to go ahead and get a deck, but more often than not, when I shop my collection, I find that that urge to add to my collection subsides because I do already have something similar. So in today's episode of Scratch That Itch, we are going to talk or explore the Retro Poster Tarot by Hattie Thorne. Hattie Thorne is out of the UK, and the deck is beautiful. It is on Etsy. It's available now. So if you are in the market for a new cool deck, definitely keep watching because I'm going to share with you some images that I saw on Etsy and why it piqued my interest. So that's what we're going to do today. Then after I show you some of the pictures and explain why this deck caught my attention and why I had to put a pause on getting it right away and to actually shop my collection, my shelves, then I'm going to show you a couple of decks that I do have that could scratch that itch. So if you're curious to know what decks I'm talking about, or you want to know a bit more about the Retro Poster Tarot, keep watching. Let's get into it. So let's take a look at my Etsy shopping cart, shall we? I added the deck to my cart so I could show you a few things. First up, this does appear to be a popular deck because it's got 22 views on it right now. It's in 12 shopping carts, and people are interested, and I'm interested as well. I am one of the folks who has it in her shopping cart. Now, one thing to note here is that the price point for me at this time of recording is $79.67 US dollars, but there was a 10% coupon code that was applied that brought the price down to $71.70. Yay! Then my eyes wandered on over to shipping, and shipping is an ouch, a big ouch. So shipping cost is $26.56, and that's pretty steep, and that's coming from the UK to the US, and then the US, I have to factor in the shipping to the DR, right? So that's going to add on probably about another $5 to $7, just depending. And that brings my shipping costs over 30 bucks US. And I have to consider that, you know, and that's what took me back to, let me see what is on my shelf that could scratch that itch. Yes, I may ultimately decide to purchase the Retro Poster Tarot down the line, but I did need to think about what else in my collection that could work for me. And another thing to consider if you purchase on Etsy is that they do have Klarna, which is you can do 4 interest-free installment payments to pay for the deck, and nothing wrong with that. But I also, you know, I'm self-employed now, and I have to be cognizant of how I'm spending my money. So I have to be very aware of that, you know, of payments, anything, taking on any new installment payments. And I would suspect that's the same for you. But I just wanted to show you my cart and show you what I'm considering and why I was like, let me go on and see what's on my shelves. All right, so let's just take a look at the cards. I'm just gonna flip through the images so we can just admire them. I'm looking at them and just like, okay, this will do. I am loving the symbolism. I feel like Hattie Thorne really got it. You know, sometimes with this type of deck, you're trying to fit posters, for example, or already pre-established artwork into the themes to make it a working tarot deck, and sometimes it just falls flat, doesn't work. And then other times artists and, you know, graphic designers, they get it. They get it, and perhaps it's because they have a tarot background that helps them to connect the dots and to have the artwork really speak to the symbolism. So that's what I'm really appreciating about how well Hattie captured everything. I'm impressed. I love the selections that she's chosen in terms of the artwork, and it really does work. And so yeah, I was smitten, and I'm still smitten even as I'm looking at these images with you all. I'm like, oh, I really want this deck. Despite what I was able to shop for in my collection, I still really want it. But maybe I will feel differently after I flip through the cards that could scratch that itch. Let's take a look now at those decks. Now I'm going to share with you the two decks that I thought of right off the bat that could scratch this itch of mine. And sometimes what I will do is I will look at my spreadsheet. I keep track of all the decks that I have in my collection. But for this one, and you know, maybe in the future it'll be different, I just thought off the top of my head, and this is what I came up with. The very first one that comes to mind is the Pulp Tarot by Todd Alcott. And this deck was gifted to me by Pilar. Thank you for gifting it to me. And why I was excited about getting this deck was because I love the little box too. It's so cool. The little book. She trimmed it, and that was cool. It made it like unique to our experience of her gifting the deck to me. And I am kind of chicken when it comes to trimming decks. Even if I'm like, oh, that would be cool trimmed, I haven't gotten there yet. You'd be surprised. Like the most I've done with modifications of decks is edging. That's it. I haven't decided to trim decks yet. So what I do instead is buy decks that are already trimmed, like secondhand, or if people kindly gift them to me, that's great. And it comes with a little white book here, the Pulp Tarot. And here's the backs. And here we go. Let's take a look. See, I haven't done an official flip through of this deck, so we'll do somewhat of one here. We have the Fool, the Magician, High Priestess, the Empress, like that, the Emperor, the Hierophant. Oh, I love the Lovers. I love that. The Chariot. Strength. Oh, I love the Hermit. Oh, I love the Wheel of Fortune as well. Reminds me of the game show Wheel of Fortune, right? The text up here. Here's Justice, giving us some Foxy Brown Pam Grier. Love it, love it. We have the Hanged Man. We have Death. Temperance. Devil. I like the Tower as well. The Tower. The Star. The Moon. The Sun. Love that. Oh, I used to have a little hobby horse like that. Just like that. I remember as a kid, as a little girl, it brings back memories actually. Oh, I would try to ride the thing. I would, you know how you could just try to ride it till it almost comes off of the stand? That was what I was trying to do. And then my dad took it away. He was like, "You gonna hurt yourself or break something." We have Judgment. And Todd Alcott came out with the Horror Tarot, which I'm going to check out. Again, well, you'll see what I mean in a moment. The other deck I have that scratches the itch where I don't necessarily feel the need to rush out and get it. And the World. Love that. I'll show you some of the minors. We'll just go through a few of the minors from each. We have Ace of Cups. And here's the thing, the next deck I'm going to show you is not in order. So we have here Two of Cups. Love me the Three of Cups. I'm looking at my door, it just opened. Here's Four of Cups. Great, great depiction. Great execution with the theme, you know. Your Five of Cups. And 6. Let's see. One of my favorite cards to look at in any tarot deck is Eight of Cups. Good job. Okay, I gotta show you the Nine of Cups. Okay, so I'll show you. There's Ace of Wands. Three of Wands. Let's look at Five of Wands. Six. We have Seven of Wands. Okay. Eight of Wands. 10. Page. Feels very Dukes of Hazzard-ish. This is Knight of Wands. Okay, King of Wands. Let's look at the pits. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Okay. Let's do 2. I really like the 3. You see the teamwork happening. So yeah, the 4. Okay. Let's look at the 8 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles. Okay, I want to show you the Ace of Swords. 2 of Swords. I really love the 3 of Swords in Hattie's, the retro poster tarot. Really, really, really love that 3 of Swords. And I also really like this one. I love an anatomical heart. So we got that there. Here's 4 of Swords. I want to look at the 6. And of course the 7. And 8. 9. And 10. And let's see what else. And King. So that is the Pulp Tarot. And this right here, out of the 2 I'm going to show you, really scratches that itch for me. Okay? It really just hits the mark. And thank you again, my friend, for gifting it to me, because I'm going to have a lot of fun working with it. This one definitely gets it for me in terms of like, ooh, I saw this other deck that's in the UK. I really want it, but dang, the shipping. This one I already have. It was gifted to me. Yay. All I had to pay for was the shipping, and hey. Oh, yeah, and I didn't have to pay customs or anything like that. With the DR, you pay customs for anything like extra customs taxes, which climbs. It makes the price considerably higher. But I didn't have to pay customs on, or I don't have to pay customs on anything over $200 US. So most times I can have things shipped here without a huge hit on customs, thank God. The next deck I want to show you that scratches the itch somewhat is the Zombie Tarot. I use this usually around Halloween time. Every now and then I'm called to pull it down aside from Halloween, but let's just face it, it just feels very Halloween to me. And when I used to actively watch The Walking Dead, this was one of those decks that I like to play with when I'm watching the show. I do that. I like to shuffle and watch in my free time. So here's the box. I love the box. Absolutely love it. It's got a cool little guidebook. And again, it is just one of those retro art style decks. Like this, I'm assuming the same creator made the Housewives Tarot. I don't have that one. I wasn't necessarily called to get it, but I was definitely called to get the zombie because I'm into zombies. So let me show you. Here's the card backs. I believe I have a full flip through of this deck, and if I do, like I believe I do, the link will be in the description box. I'm just going to show you a few of the cards. They're not in any particular order. Okay, so look, right at the top, another anatomical heart, which makes me so happy. Look at that. I think I'm going to keep this one down today and work with it. Not for client readings. I think that's another reason why, like with this one, the Zombie Tarot, unless it's Halloween, I'm not really inclined to use it. You know, not everyone has the stomach for what is depicted. I do. I'm into gore and things of that nature, but not everyone. Here is the King of Cups. Ace of Cups. Let's see what else. I'll show you some. Oh, I love the World card. Love, love, love that. Let's see what else we have. Here's the Devil. Six of Swords. Oh my God, King of Wands. King of Hazards. Here is the Chariot. The High Priestess. Ace of Wands. Nice card stock, in my opinion. Six of Hazards. Here's the tower. Love that. Queen of Wands. Oh my God. I don't even know if I should show that one. Here's Strength. Let's look at Strength. One of them was like showing the intestines and things. I don't know if everybody's up for that. I love the Hermit. This reminds me of Night of the Living Dead for some reason. Again, a zombie type of film. I've been watching zombie films since I was a wee girl, a little girl. Yeah. Nine of Cups. She got her shotgun. So let's see if we can show a few more. Here's Five of Cups. Six of Wands. They're victorious. The undead are victorious. Call them the undead. And here's the Hierophant. That's an interesting depiction, isn't it? Here's a little pop question, pop quiz for you. Why would I say that this depiction of the Hierophant is interesting? What is interesting about this depiction? This is, I'm putting on my mentor hat. We've got a broadcast going on the telly. Okay, let me see if there's anything else. Look at Judgment. So again, this one isn't quite as literal of a scratch the itch deck like the Pulp Tarot, but the zombie, like if I didn't have this gifted to me, this probably could do it for me, right? And I just love how, like, if you fan them out, how cool they look. I just love that. So there you have it, my friends. That is the scratch the itch. I have some other ones, some other very high price, even more expensive than the deck I discussed today, the retro poster. And that one I am probably going to have to go to my spreadsheets and see what's on my list that I have on my shelf that could work. I am curious on what are some instances where you saw a deck, you liked it, but you're like, let me shop my collection. Share with us some of those instances in the comment section down below. Also, very, very curious to hear your guidance or your suggestions on other decks similar to the retro poster tarot that could scratch the itch. Yes, we had it pretty nailed down with the Pulp Tarot, but maybe there's other ones that are mass market that are a little less expensive on the shipping side of things. Let me know, because I'm curious to see what those decks are as well. Or even if they're not necessarily less expensive, but they're just similar in the same, you know, art style. We would be curious to know that in the comment section. So I would love to hear from you. So that's it. Do me a favor on your way out. Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And I am looking forward to doing another installment of Scratch That Itch. So I hope you join me for that next one when that happens. Take very good care of yourselves, you all. Stay cool out there. Bye for now.